What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I want to run you through two swing trades that I am currently holding, walk you through the technicals, show you why I entered these trades, and show you some price targets that I have for these trades. Now, as a precursor, I do want to say that both of these trades that I currently have on are smaller size because I'm definitely a little bit early to the party. I see some technical levels that I'm trying to play off of, but the trend has not fully confirmed itself. Because of that, I've scaled down because I know and I understand that I might be a little bit early here, but the risk to reward is fantastic at this point. The percent of profit may be a little bit low. I might be wrong on the timing, but if I do catch these right with the small amount that I have in these plays, the profit potential is very large. So let's run through these trades. I just wanted to get that out of the way, let you know that these trades may not work out. The percent of them working out is a little bit lower than I would like, but because of this, the risk to reward is great and the size that I'm putting into them is relatively low. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into these plays. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and press that bell notification so that you know every single time that I post. All right, guys, so the first trade that we are going to go over today is ROKU. Now, if you're in my Discord, if you come to the live streams, if you come hang out in the mornings, then you probably already know I am in this, but I do want to go over this one more time. There's some things that are developing, some levels to be watching, and I just want to walk through why I am in this trade. So the first thing that I want to go over is the daily chart. The daily chart is right here. You guys can see I am trying to catch this bounce off this 340 level. Now 340, because it's right back to where these lows were right here, and these lows do extend past this date. They come back to April, they come back to March, and they're also sort of coming back to January and December of last year. So I do like this 340 level as a long-term support level. Now, I didn't quite catch the bottom because I was waiting to see where this support would come in. And you guys may know I've been watching ROKU for some time now. I've been trying to take small shots on ROKU, trying to see if I can catch a support bounce. Obviously, the first time I did this, it was back towards this 50 SMA. You may remember I took my loss. This is my second attempt at this dip buy on ROKU. Now, of course, I could not work out again, and that's just the way that it goes when you're trying to catch some of these support bounces. There will be times that you are wrong, and you have to take your losses. You have to understand what you did wrong, and you just have to focus on risk management so that you can come back and try to take it once again. So the first thing, the big scheme, at the grand scheme of things, is the 340 support. That level right there is where I'm trying to see if ROKU can bounce off of. Now, if we zoom in a little bit more here onto ROKU in the recent trend, this is the 4-hour chart. Now, on the 4-hour chart, you guys will notice that we are starting to break the downtrend that we have seen since earnings. So we were on this pretty nasty downtrend right here. You guys will see this on ROKU. Pretty nasty downtrend that came right back to 340, right back to some of this previous support, and we are starting to break above it. Now, does this mean for sure that ROKU is going to continue up? Not for sure. Definitely not. This could easily be a little bit of a dead cat bounce, and it could definitely fall back over. That, me knowing that, that's why I've gone small. That's why I said in the beginning of this video, I am definitely a little bit early to these plays. If you want to get in with a little bit more confirmation, you'd probably wait for maybe a break of this 50 SMA. You'd probably wait for a break of maybe these 370 highs. But I was getting in early, getting in with small size to see if I can start to catch this bounce. So we have this downtrend break. We have the break of the 20 SMA, which was another thing that I was watching. The reason I was watching that, right here, you guys can see, if I zoom in, you will see the break of the 20 SMA. The reason I was looking for that was because on previous attempts, ROKU was failing the 20 SMA. So here, back here we failed it, and here's where we broke under. Ever since we broke under back on the 29th of July, you guys can see that we have failed that 20. We found support at that 340 level, that level I was watching. We started to find some bullish momentum, making higher lows, and we broke above the 20 SMA. So we're above that 20 SMA, and that was my target, or that was my trigger to go ahead and get into this position. Now, if we break this down, one more step here. If we break this down to, let's say, the 10-day, 30-minute chart, you guys will see that we are starting to make some higher highs and higher lows. So right here, we had a little bit of resistance on Roku right here at these levels. We had resistance here on Thursday of last week. We made that into some resistance on Friday as well. And on Monday, we gapped up above that level. We pulled back to it, and we turned that previous resistance into support. Now, this previous resistance turning into support is very important to me. This is something that I look for quite a bit on the market. This would be a break and retest on Roku. So I'm going to delete this green box. This is that 340 support on the daily chart. What you guys should be focusing on is right here, and you will see that we have started to make higher highs and higher lows. So we had resistance, turn that resistance into support, and today we did fall back lower. It was looking great in the morning. I was very happy with the position, but we did find some weakness here today. But what I really like to see was that we did hold this 352 area once again. So at this point, my stop on this trade, if Roku does not hold these previous highs right around this 351, 350 area, I do not want to see us fall back below that level. That would invalidate my trade, and that would most likely be showing a little bit of a dead cat bounce here. So I definitely don't want to see that. At this point in my trade, I want to make sure that Roku is holding above these previous highs from Thursday and Friday of last week. So as you can probably tell, this bounce is definitely in its infant stages. It's just about 4 days into the bounce. It's not very developed, but I am going in with small size here, looking to see if I can get the push back higher on Roku. So that is my play to go into exactly the contract that I have. I will pull it up here. Here's the Discord. I have a September 3rd 400 call. Now, this contract is pretty far out of the money, and the reason it is that far out of the money is because I didn't want to spend a lot of money. There's about $2.93 in this play, so about $293. So if I'm wrong, maybe I'll lose 50%, maybe I'll lose $115. That's fine with me. I'm willing to take that risk here on this play because I know if I catch this right on a September 3rd contract with about $293, I know that if I catch this right, this could be well over 100% gain if Roku can start to bounce here, maybe back up into these right here, these previous lows, into these 380s, maybe even into these 390s. So I know if I can catch this bounce, if I can get this momentum push back higher into the 380s, 390s, even though these calls will not go in the money, I know that those contracts will appreciate nicely and I'll be able to take a nice profit. So that's my play, guys. That's the technicals. I don't want to see it under 350. I want to see if those higher lows will hold, if that previous resistance will turn into support, and I can try to take a bounce here on Roku off this big dip off earnings, which was just about 30 to 31%. So that's my play. That's Roku. That is number one. Let's go ahead and get into the next trade. All right, guys, trade number two, and that is on Netflix. Now, here is Netflix. This is the daily chart, and this play is actually a bearish play. I am looking for downside on Netflix. Now, why did I take downside on Netflix? You can obviously see the trend is pretty bullish. We're getting into a nice push here, but looking at the technicals, looking at this play, I am looking to see if I can catch the downside on Netflix off of this very heavy resistance level that is held about 4 times in the past year. So over the last year, Netflix has fell off of this 560, 555 level multiple times, and I am looking to see if I can anticipate the drop here once again. Now, of course, I could be wrong, but it's very easy to get stopped out of this play because if it breaks above these levels, then I clearly will be out of this play. That is no longer a valid setup. But if I can catch this correctly, like I said in the beginning of this video, very infant stages, then this could be a very big potential win. Big risk to reward, very high profit potential with a very tight stop. That is the play that I'm willing to take here on Netflix. So here's Netflix. You guys can see, I will turn this red. You can see that pretty clear resistance that has failed multiple times over the last year, about 4 times. So is this the time that Netflix breaks out above this? It very well could be. Do I want to play on the side of the technicals? Do I want to try to take this rejection off this level? Absolutely. Could I wait a few days, maybe until, like a big red day? I definitely could. Could there still be some downside after that? there totally could. But at this time, the puts are very cheap. The contracts are pretty diluted because of the big rally we've seen. So I want to take a small shot here on Netflix to see if I can take any rejection here at $555 to $560 a share. Now, if I break this down to the 10-day, 30-minute, the one thing that I am looking at here on Netflix to try to catch the move is this double top that we are starting to form here. We started a little bit of a triple top today. So you guys can see we hit highs of 555 on yesterday, Monday. We hit highs this morning of around 554.90. And then later in the day today, we went up to 555.31. So we were getting pretty close to breaking those highs. I don't want to see us break those highs. If we do, I definitely will consider taking my loss if we move higher and break these previous highs. If that happens, I'll take my loss. I will move on. I'll still monitor this trade. I'll still see if this setup could work out. Now, the one thing that I want to see happen that I think will sort of solidify my trade idea here is if this uptrend that has been holding starts to break down. If this uptrend that holds these higher lows starts to break down, then I think my put options will definitely start to work here on Netflix. So that's my play here on Netflix. I'm playing it off this heavy daily resistance level. I'm looking to see if we can fail these levels today. You can see we're starting to get a little bit of resistance creeping in here. Of course, with a strong market, Netflix could break above, but I am going to play on the side of the technicals here and start a small position here on Netflix. If we fail this uptrend, if we start to get a move lower, you guys can see that the risk reward here is pretty large because my risk is just about, from this point, it's just about 0.6%. I can maybe push it to about 1%. On call options or on puts, it'll probably be a little bit more. But underlying stock-wise, about 1% risk to the downside. I'd be even looking at these lows around 525, where that breakout started to occur. That's about a 5% drop if I can catch that whole thing. If I can catch that whole thing, it's about a 5-to-1 risk to reward, which is something that I am willing to take here with small size. So I have a Netflix September 3rd 550 put for $7.60. So I have about $760 in this play. It's a 550 put. I am basically right near the money because if this works out, the 550s will definitely increase nicely. And I have September 3rd expiration, so I have about 2 weeks from today. So that's my play on Netflix. As I said earlier, both of these plays on both Netflix and Roku are definitely in their infancy stages. Netflix could break out. Roku could fall lower. That is totally possible. But I know that if I catch these right here with the technicals that I am looking at, I'm going to trust my analysis. I'm going to take a shot here with calculated risk. And I know that if I am right, the risk to reward is great and the profit potential is very large. All right, guys, so that's just about all that I have for you in today's video. Here are the two plays that I have right now. Let's see how these work out over the next 2 weeks. Let me know what you think about these plays down below. If you think I'm an idiot, you can let me know down below. I like to hear your opinion. I like to talk to other people about potential plays. If I'm missing something, let me know. If you see something that will go against my position, feel free to let me know as well. I'd love to hear your opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed some of the analysis. If you did, make sure to press that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for some more videos. And most important, press that bell notification so that you guys know every single time that I post and that you are alerted every single time that I go live in the morning from 8 a.m. to around 8:45 a.m. With all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.